This is what the media shows you about China.
China has a massive debt problem.
China might not be in a position to fund an invasion at this point because their economy is struggling.
China has treated imprisoned Uyghur Muslims in the country's Xinjiang region.
The current state of the economy is under pressure in China.
They say that China's anti-air pollution measures have actually worsened global warming.
These people are systematically oppressed.
There are too many lies in the media about China. This is the China I saw during my 60-day trip.
Yeah, okay.
Hey，兄弟，你是本地人吗？你是 room 记的还是？该是的。
Could you spot any difference? I traveled across China for about 60 days. Here are my true experiences and story. And at the end of this video, I'll tell you what happened to me in Xinjiang and of course, across to Yunnan. And what is it like to travel across China as a foreigner? What's the feeling? Is it expensive? Is it cheap? Do you have so much trouble traveling across China as a foreigner? All that will be explained in this video. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe for weekly videos like this. For about 2 months, I was on the road from Xinjiang through Chengdu to Chongqing and then through Yunnan. I traveled across many cities in China. And everything I saw will get you thinking and asking yourself if you should really keep on believing everything you see in the media about China. Are you being lied to about life in China? Or are you being lied to about the Chinese people's hospitality? By the end of this video, I'll tell you the biggest problem I faced and encountered during my travel through Xinjiang and of course through Chengdu, Chongqing and Yunnan. I traveled across many cities and I had tons and tons of experiences. It was definitely a trip to remember. I saw a lot, I learned a lot. It was an eye-opener for me and I urge everyone to try and visit more of China when they get a chance. The truth is that this channel is not a travel channel. It is a channel where I share my experiences as a foreigner living here in China, and especially after seeing so many negative feedback and comments about China in the media and from so many people who do not even have an idea about life in China. So one of the reasons why I took this trip was because for me to tell you more about China, I need to have had the real experience of the life here in China, not just in the mega cities like Shanghai, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, but I had to go to the real China. Of course, experience the real culture, experience the real life and the tradition of the Chinese people. When I was getting on the plane to go to Xinjiang, I had so many thoughts on my mind. I was asking myself, what if the people do not accept me? What if I get into trouble in Xinjiang? And at some point, I even asked myself, what if the police do not even let me into Xinjiang? Man, I was so wrong. When I got to the Xinjiang airport, everything I heard about in the news or the media and all the ideas I had in my mind previously vanished. Why was that? That was because what I saw from the airport in Xinjiang, of course, the capital Urumqi, was completely different from everything I heard in the media. I saw very friendly people, I saw hospitable people, I saw a calm, serene, clean, nice, welcoming environment where everyone felt happy. Well, the truth is that I had tons and tons of questions before I went to Xinjiang, but I was so wrong. And of course, Xinjiang definitely proved me wrong. I went to the hotel, I was greeted with so much warmth and friendliness. They welcomed me, they gave me good rooms. I never for a second felt unsafe while in Xinjiang. Of course, when I started posting my videos about Xinjiang here on this channel, some people came and commented, "You're paid by the Chinese government," or "all those people are paid actors, they are not as happy as they look in the video." But of course, Xinjiang is open for everyone to go there and visit, to not just listen to the media. I used to listen to the media in the past, but I had learned a long time ago not to just listen to the media, but to go there and see for myself. And I'm grateful I did go there. One thing I noticed in Xinjiang is the presence of more security. Of course, after doing so much research, I learned that this security is for the benefit of the citizens, for the safety of the citizens because of the situations that happened a long time ago. Many years ago, there were bombings, there were troubles in Xinjiang, which led the government to increase the security there in Xinjiang for the safety of everyone. And of course, if you go there today, you will be surprised at what you will see. It's an amazing tourist zone. So many people go there to Xinjiang to just have fun, to relax without fear for their lives. You can walk the streets at any time of the night that you want. and you do not even need to fear anything. That's one thing I realized about Xinjiang. It was an amazing experience. From the capital of Xinjiang, Urumqi, through Turpan, where I went to the desert, and then to a city called Karela, where I even spent a night with a Uyghur family. That was an amazing experience. I learned so much from them. I was so scared when I was going there. I didn't know what to expect. I thought the Uyghurs would be so sad, devastated, and always angry. But I was so surprised. They were always dancing. They were so happy with their life. And I was so amazed. After experiencing that, I realized that I had definitely been lied to by the media. Do not just listen to the media about China. You should definitely try to learn more. Sometimes go there and see for yourself. And of course, I was very glad that I did. During my journey through Xinjiang, I met so many amazing people, so many lovely people. I made friends easily. I spoke with the locals. I went to the suburbs. I met amazing people, and they told me about a life in Xinjiang, which is completely different from what we all see or read in the Western media, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, because so many people tend to believe them, especially out of China. And just like everyone has been lied to about Africa, those are the types of lies that have been told to people out of China about China. But here's the point, guys. If you're watching this video right now, as I always say, do your best, get a passport. If you can afford it, do your best, get a passport, travel as far and as wide as you can. And trust me, your mind will be much more open as you travel, because you will meet new people, make new friends, learn new cultures, which will make you see the world differently. Because I'm very sure out of Africa, so many people are shown the negative side of Africa, which is not even the case in most situations. They do not show the hospitality of Africans. They do not show the amazing nature of the continent, the beautiful scenery, similar to China. If you travel across China, like I did within the past 60 days, and you go to the interiors of China, trust me, you will see so much and you will learn a lot. It's not just about the high-rise buildings here in China. It's not just about the skyscrapers, but it is about traveling to go see the amazing scenery in the small towns, in the villages, far, far away from the bigger cities. It is just breathtaking. One of the reasons why I made this journey was to go see for myself, to see the reality on ground. And boy, I was not wrong. I learned so much, and I was amazed by the reality that I saw on ground. And I learned something very important during my 60 days trip. This journey showed me that what you give is what you get. When you're traveling to any location, go with an open mind. Do not be too scared to open up to people. Do not be too scared to make new friends. Do not be too scared to learn new cultures. It doesn't matter where you are going to. Even if you're just moving from one city to another or from one country to another, keep an open mind, because cultures are different as you travel. So one of the aspects that helped me during this journey was that I kept an open mind. I learned from so many people across my journey, and I'm so grateful I did, because right now I have many new friends that I met along the way, from Xinjiang through Chongqing, through Chengdu, and of course through the many cities that I visited in Yunnan. And let me tell you one thing about China, guys. Like I always say, the safety. Just take a look at me right now. I was on the road for 60 days. And I never had a scratch on my body. I never had a single big problem throughout my journey, which is amazing when you think about it, because if I was in another country, even in my country, traveling across the country, at some point, maybe my bag would get stolen, maybe I could have been hurt, I could have been harmed in one way or another. And most times I didn't even have to worry about my belongings, because I always knew it's gonna be safe. And that is China for you. It doesn't matter where you go in this amazing country, you have nothing to worry about when it comes to safety for you as a person, and of course for all your belongings. I made videos during the day and at night, and both times I never had to worry about my safety or the safety of my bag. It was just amazing. I really hope that more countries can be like this, where people can just travel far and wide in strange places and not have to worry about their safety. And one thing that I was really worried about when I was traveling to Xinjiang was the fact that I might get rejected. I was asking myself, would they be friendly towards me? Because of course, I look very different from everyone around there. It's my first time. I know no one. I had no friend prior to going there. I only made friends when I got to these locations, which was amazing. That's a tip for anyone who's planning to travel. Just go there and see what you get. And like I always say, millennials, the Chinese people are friendly. Of course, when I talk about friendly, I know some people will tell me, oh, you haven't gone to the Chinese social media. You don't know these people, or this happened or that happened. I've said it before in one of my videos. there are good and bad people everywhere. But what is the percentage of the good people and what is the percentage of the bad people? Of course, everyone grows up differently. There are a couple of people who might see things differently from the majority of the people. But after traveling across many cities here in China, most of the people that I've met, at least I can say 96 or 98% of the people I've met were very welcoming, very friendly, very helpful. I had no serious issues with people. I just kept an open mind. When I asked for help, they were very happy to give me directions. They were very happy to share their culture with me, and it was amazing. And of course, speaking Chinese definitely helped. But even if you can't speak Chinese, many Chinese people here in China are always open to help you when you are in need, when you are trying to find your way, when you need to find out what to eat or you want to understand the culture. They will definitely help you from Xinjiang through Yunnan, because when it comes to China, Xinjiang, Yunnan, Inner Mongolia, these places have so much diverse culture. That's what I realized. And I was able to learn these cultures thanks to the local people in these places. They actually gave me all the details, all the insights about their cultures, about their homes, how to respect their cultures, and that really opened my mind even more. And I'm so grateful for that experience. You can go there and see for yourself. Travel, travel, travel. China is open. Anyone who wants to come and visit. China recently even gave the visa-free option to many countries, I think many European countries. You can definitely come to China and see for yourself. Travel to these places. When you travel to these places, you will understand the reality on ground. It's not just about me saying it, it's about you coming and experiencing it. There are so many people who come to China already and they have seen the truth. So not just listen to the Western media. There are so many happy things in this country. There are so many happy people. Even if I leave China someday, I would definitely want to share my amazing experiences which I've had in this country. And of course, I really hope that every country across the world, across the globe, can replicate this kind of happiness, this kind of friendliness, and welcome people, welcome strangers just like this. Even if those strangers or visitors to your country look different from you, with different color, different race, different ethnicity, you all just have to welcome that person. It doesn't matter where you are. And that's one thing I've learned during my 60 days trip. Again, when I was talking about all of these experiences during my whole travel, doesn't mean everything is just happy. Of course, this is life. There are happy people, there are sad people, there are good situations, there are bad situations. But then we all have to acknowledge the majority of the amazing nature of these locations. Well, when I left Xinjiang, Yunnan was also just as amazing as Xinjiang. I do not even want to mention my journey to Chengdu and Chongqing because as you all already know, Chengdu and Chongqing are just amazing. I saw so many happy people despite the media saying that China is collapsing. I saw something completely different in these two cities. Learning about the minority here in China, everyone is included. Like in some countries, some groups of minorities are excluded from so many aspects. Here in China, one thing I love about this trip was the inclusive nature of the people. Everyone seems to be included in the plan for national development, which is something that we can definitely replicate in other countries across the globe. For example, I traveled to the last tribe in China, which is located right there in Yunnan. It took me so many hours to travel to this amazingly remote city, which is close to the border near Maima. I realized that culture is being preserved and the government has made it possible for those villagers to be able to make money just by preserving their culture. It's well built. I got there, I had to buy a ticket. I was offered food. I didn't show you guys this during the video because I had to explain it more in this video right now. But I went there, I realized that everything was well organized and the road was well tarred for the villages. Can you imagine that? Getting paid to enjoy your culture. And that's one fact about China. I went to the Little People's Kingdom where everyone is included. Every minority right here in China has their own little segment where they can just be themselves and maintain their culture and of course make money just by being themselves, which is really amazing as compared to many countries across the globe. And I really enjoyed that aspect. China has found a way to monetize all their culture and let the local people make money out of it. And of course, it goes a long way to employ most of the minority people and they get busy every day, which definitely pushes the economy forward. Is that not amazing, guys? Now, one thing we need to understand is this. Handling 1.4 billion people in one country is not an easy task. The US, I think it's about 400 million, if I'm not mistaken. Many countries across the globe do not even have the population of China. So why does the media keep on trying to bash China for everything that they have been doing for the citizens? It's not been an easy task. Just look at how many years it took for China to leave from a developing country to where it is right now, one of the strongest countries in the world. It is not for nothing. Of course, they had to work hard to build that country, which is something we all can definitely replicate. But then we should understand that their population is 1.4 billion people. I know some people might say, oh, it's because of their population, so they could get cheap labor and of course many advantages because they have so many people. But there are many other countries with so many people in the world, but it's not as strong as China. Some people will say, oh, you are talking about China, you keep on hailing China. For what reason? One of the reasons why I make these videos is just to let us understand what can be accomplished if we put our hands together and work for our various countries. Of course, there are so many bottlenecks, there are so many people holding various countries back, but I believe that if our governments really care about us and put in the work, and of course we as citizens put in the work also, we can definitely achieve what China has achieved in the span of 20 years, which is amazing. And I think that we can replicate this to be able to make the lives of everyone better, for the citizens, for the government, and for everyone, to make the country grow as fast as China has grown. Of course, China isn't perfect. When I'm talking about all of this, I do not mean China is perfect, or it's a 100% happy place, or everyone is just celebrating every day, or there's no one who steals at all, or there are not some areas which are not well developed. Of course, it's a work in progress. It's a country striving to grow. It's a country struggling to get the best for its citizens. But then, rather than being in our various countries trying to back China, pointing fingers here and there, and trying to say that they are doing this or they are doing that, of which they are right here developing the country, employing the citizens, and doing the best to make the lives of the citizens much better. I think we can definitely use that time to put it into our own various countries and make our countries a happy place. Just take a look at my videos during my travel. All the amazing places I saw, not just the skyscrapers, not just the happy people, not just the amazing food, but the scenery, the level of development. And during this trip, I saw so much construction happening. They were constructing railway stations, new roads were constructed, so much happened. And that is China for you. Every day they are building new places, building new infrastructures, and just developing their countries to make it easy for the citizens. I think this is something we definitely need to learn. We can definitely learn this from China to be able to grow our own countries. One thing I love about the travel here in China is how convenient and cheap it is as compared to many countries across the world. The trains, the bus, sometimes you can just pay about 20 Chinese yuan for thousands of miles by bus. It is really cheap. Don't even mention the train. As we all know, China is an amazing high-speed train builder. So many places, even some remote villages here in China, have got access to the high-speed rail, which made my travel so easy and convenient. And one other amazing aspect was the food. I just recently came back and I started working out again. Of course, if you are traveling across China, trust me, you will definitely put on some weight because I ate so much. In Xinjiang, I ate lots of kaobaozi. I ate a lot of stuff. In Chengdu, Chongqing, hot pot, so much hot pot. And then Yunnan, the Yunnan dish. I had so much food and I almost didn't want to come back because food in China, if you are living in China, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But well, guys, of course, the journey was amazing. All these amazing aspects, moving around China with the cheap travel, the cheap food, but yet so delicious. But my journey still had its downsides. I had difficult times. For example, it was so tiring. You know, China is so vast. Traveling across China for days, especially for 60 days, can be so tiring. So there were days where I just had to stay in my hotel room without any work. But then I was glad that I had all the experience that I needed and I could rest on the days that I needed safely. I didn't lose any of my filming gadgets. I didn't lose my bag. Oh, I forgot my bag one time in a hotel and I traveled and I just made a call. They got it for me and they sent it through the courier. So that's one amazing aspect about China. If you forget something somewhere, you do not even have to worry. Just find a way to call and it will be sent to you. It's really safe. It's very safe for everyone. Talking about the issue which I encountered while in Xinjiang. Well, first, the hotel that I booked was so far away from the city center. I did my research, but I made a mistake. I booked about 3 days for my hotel in Urumqi, but the hotel was so far away from the Grand Bazaar and some other amazing locations which I had to go to like every single day. So I spent a lot of money taking a taxi from my hotel to those amazing locations, which was so tough. And when I was done, I had to travel back to my hotel room. But then I learned from that, and when I was checking on the next hotels in the next city, I corrected that mistake, which definitely helped me. But then it was no big deal because like I said, transportation is so affordable when it comes to traveling across China. One problem I encountered while in Xinjiang was that I got lost a couple of times. Of course, there are maps, there are apps, Google Maps and Baidu Maps, which you can use when traveling, but sometimes when you're just exploring, you can get lost at some point in time. No one will snub you when you try to ask for directions. Now, millennials, I can fully say that my 60-day trip across China wasn't a waste of time. I learned a lot. I grew personally. I had so much fun. And my suggestion for you, if you're planning to travel across China or across Africa or any country across the world, just keep an open mind. Anything that you have been told before in the media, keep that aside. Keep that out. Travel with an open mind. Be ready to learn. You need to be an empty vessel. Meet new people. Remember, life is a give and take. What you give is what you will get. Be a happy person. Be a calm person. Just go out there, explore. If you are able to, do your best. Save up, travel. Even if you can't travel the world, travel across cities, meet new people, learn new cultures. I'm glad that I made this trip. I'm glad I made this journey. I've learned so much about China. And of course, I'll keep on sharing all of those experiences right here on this channel with you guys. Just make sure if you are traveling to any location, to any country, to any city, just respect the people's culture. When you get there, learn about the culture before you are going there. When you get there, ask more, learn from the people, observe, do your best to integrate with the people. Just be happy. Just enjoy. Have fun. That's what I did. I had so much fun in this journey. And one of the reasons why I had this level of fun is because the people I met were also so much fun. They were welcoming. They were amazing. And I was beyond grateful for that. And if you've noticed all my videos, I was always so happy. It was an amazing trip. It was a really successful trip. Well, that's China for you. So many happy, friendly, and welcoming people. You should definitely experience these places if you get the chance. When you travel to China, to not just any Shanghai or Shenzhen or Chengdu or Chongqing or Guangzhou, go to those smaller places. You will feel the real China. When so many people and the media are talking about collapse, what I saw during my trip, the people do not even know about that news. They do not even worry about collapse or this or that. They just focus on their lives, to be happy, to live their lives, to be friendly, to smile. I very well know that as I'm making this video right now, some people will come to the comment section and say, of course, I was welcomed because I'm a foreigner. They were happy to welcome me in because I'm a foreigner. That was not the only case. Because I saw the people of Xinjiang, I saw the people of Yunnan welcoming many other tourists from around China into their home, into their cultural zone. And they were very happy and helpful to those Chinese people. So it wasn't just me. So the idea of they are more friendly only to foreigners, that is not the case. So I think being friendly to someone is about individuality. It's about you as a person. We can't just generalize a whole race depending on what one person might have done or how you see those people in your mind. You need to keep an open mind. That's all I can say. So at the end of the day, millennials, we shouldn't keep on encouraging those who try to smear China, those who try to hide the truth about Africa and other continents and countries around the world that are struggling to grow. Of course, it's not easy. It's a work in progress. And there's so much we can all learn from each other. And like I said in my previous video, our governments will always be themselves. Politics will always be politics. Those at the top will always be at loggerheads. But you and I, we are just normal citizens trying to make a living, trying to be happy with our families, with our kids. So no matter what is happening in the world, never forget to keep working hard, create time for yourself, create time for your family, appreciate life and hope while doing your best to make your country a better place, while doing your best to make it happy for the people around you. Because that's the problem that so many people are going through right now worldwide. So many people have lost their jobs, so many people have families to feed, but they can't afford it. So many people have high mortgages, high rents, high bills to pay, and it's so hard. Reason why I said there is trouble worldwide, not just in China. So when you listen to the media, do not just believe what they say, because everyone everywhere in the world is experiencing some form of difficulty right now. The least we can do is to support our neighbors and hold our hands and keep moving together. Well, millennials, after traveling for 60 days across China, I am home and I'm glad to be home. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more amazing videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, this is Willen. See you next time.